Debbie Wasserman Schultz's IT aide pleaded guilty yesterday to bank fraud. He cut a sweetheart deal with the Dodge, so he and his wife could walk on other charges having to do with basically spying on the Democrats and Lord knows what else. It's a travesty of justice. Imran Awan, his wife, and brothers were all involved in some very shady dealings over the last few years in Congress that netted them in excess of $7 million. For all the world it looks like an extortion racket to me. The Dodge claims they have uncovered no evidence that Awan violated federal law with respect to the House computer systems. Right. The Awans allegedly transferred data to Imran's father in Pakistan. By the way, he has terrorist ties and they were sending money to him as well. During a hearing yesterday, Imran pleaded guilty to making a false statement on a loan application. That's funny because I also remember him committing mortgage fraud as well. As part of the deal, the prosecution dropped fraud charges against Awan's wife, Hina Alvi. Awan was born in Pakistan but came to the U.S. with his family when he was a teenager. He was arrested last summer at Dulles International Airport outside Washington before trying to board a flight to Pakistan. The Awans, as a family, had a sweet gig with the Democrats. They serviced all their IT needs and while doing so, data vanished as did hardware. They were involved in a cyber breach operation and someone high up didn't want the people involved exposed. Just my 2 cents on this whole mess. Although there were 44 Democrats who had their data accessed and over 40 witnesses were interviewed stating that the Awans were shady and involved in criminal activity, the Dodge suddenly decided there was nothing to see here. Interesting. Particularly, the government has found no evidence that your client illegally removed House data from the House network or from House members' offices, stole the House Democratic Caucus server, stole or destroyed House information technology equipment, or improperly accessed or transferred government information, including classified or sensitive information, the prosecution said in the plea deal. But what the prosecution didn't mention is that the feds had copied data off the Democrat server, which they marked as evidence. However, the Awans had access to it after that. When the feds went to retrieve said server, it wasn't the same one that was there before. What is this? Keystone Cops? Prosecutors said the government conducted a thorough investigation of those allegations. Really? And a server with the emails of 44 Democrats just disappears. But there's nothing to see here. Move along. According to Fox News, Awan worked for Rep. Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida and other Democrats. He admitted in Tuesday's plea deal to working to obtain home equity lines of credit from the Congressional Federal Credit Union in December 2016 by giving false information about a property. Awan's attorney, Christopher J. Gowan, said in court Tuesday they are seeking a probation-only sentence without a fine or restitution. A sentencing hearing is set for August 21. Chutkan on Tuesday granted the defense's request to remove Awan's court-mandated electronic tracking device, but kept in place a limit when traveling beyond 150 miles from his residence. A grand jury in August 1 returned an indictment in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia charging Awan and his wife with federal bank fraud. The case was investigated by the U.S. Capitol Police and the FBI's Washington Field Office. Philip G. Kiko, the chief administrative officer of the House, stated last April that the House's Inspector General discovered evidence of procurement fraud and irregularities and numerous violations of House security policies by Awan and other IT employees connected to him. I suspect the Dodge just let a blatant spying off the hook here. Somebody got to someone on this. It's disgraceful. Awan and his family posing as IT aides for House Democrats originally had been on investigators' radar for months over concerns of alleged equipment theft, access to sensitive computer systems and more, according to reports dating back to early 2017. It gets even better. Drives went missing and one was found hidden in a Democrat's office. Wasserman Schultz tried to strong-arm a police officer over it. She kept Awan on the payroll for months, even after a criminal investigation was revealed and he was barred from the House IT network. Most of the dems involved fired Awan in February 2017, but Wasserman Schultz kept him on until his arrest in July. Renters of a home owned by Awan found a bunch of computer equipment there and turned that over to the feds too, but not before Awan threatened them over it. The Attorney General of California, Xavier Becerra, was overseeing all of this and knew stuff was going down. He ignored it and isn't having to answer for anything either. Chicks on the right hit it out of the park with this note, and let's not forget that 44 Democrats completely exempted Pakistani IT aides from background checks, and some of those aides later allegedly made unauthorized access to congressional data. Everyone involved here should have wound up behind bars over this. But the DOJ just let them walk. Whatever happened to national security? Both the DOJ and FBI need to be gutted and have a do-over after extensive background checks and vetting are conducted. Otherwise, this corruption will never end.